Andrew Tate has been arrested, and it's all thanks to Greta Thunberg and her supreme Twitter skills.
Controversial influencer Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan are arrested in Romania as part of a human trafficking.
The internet is losing it over this news because not only is Andrew Tate finally facing justice, but he literally played himself by starting a Twitter beef with Greta. Greta has now reacted to Tate's arrest with another epic tweet, and this story just keeps getting better and better by the minute, so let's get into it. Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan were arrested in Romania after Greta pretty much forced Andrew to snitch on himself. But before we get into all of that, here's some background info for those who are wondering why this is such a big deal. First of all, in case you're not familiar with Andrew Tate, you should consider yourself lucky because this man managed to manipulate millions of teenage boys and young men for money and views. Andrew Tate was born on December 14, 1986 in Chicago to a British mother and an American father. After Tate's father left the family, Andrew's mother took Andrew and his two siblings, his sister Janine and brother Tristan, to the UK.
I lived in a very prestigious part of the UK. I don't know if you've ever heard of Luton.
Very
prestigious.
Yeah.
Yeah, #1.
Not much is known about Andrew's childhood, but obviously something went wrong because you don't have to be a mental health expert to see that this man has some deep-rooted issues surrounding women and his own masculinity. And while Andrew's sister Janine grew up to become a successful lawyer, both Andrew and Tristan struggled in school. And let's just say intellectual pursuit has never been their strong point. Janine no longer talks to Andrew, and judging by his comments, he's still bitter his sister is the smartest sibling in the family.
Now, I have a sister. My sister and I, we don't really talk. We don't talk because she goes to feminist rallies and believes Trump's a racist. I know, how can Andrew Tate have a low IQ sister? But it's been proven that the first child is always the smartest. She's like the third. Who gives a about the third of anything? Like, you can name a gold medalist, maybe a silver medalist. Oh, he's a bronze medalist. Who gives a
As for Andrew's brother Tristan, well, he's just Andrew with hair, but with the exact same insecurities.
I get more value by the end of the night than she gets from me, because I get her naked in my bed.
Andrew's career beginnings were pretty much unremarkable, and before he realized he could manipulate other insecure young men for profit, he worked as a TV advertising salesman. After leaving this job, Andrew decided to try his luck with boxing and martial arts. But despite some initial success, his career as an athlete fizzled out quickly. And according to Ibrahim El Bastati, the Dutch-Moroccan boxer who stopped Tate in 2006 with a knockout in the first round, Tate has always been insecure and thirsty for attention. So after he got humbled by El Bastati, Andrew did what all attention-hungry people do. He joined a reality show. In 2016, Andrew became a contestant on Big Brother UK, and this was when he realized he could get attention he craved by acting like a douchebag. However, shortly after Andrew entered the Big Brother house, he was ejected after a shocking video went viral showing him hitting a woman with a belt. But it only gets worse from there. After getting kicked out of Big Brother, Andrew moved to Romania, claiming that he decided to live there because people in Eastern European countries are more traditional and moral. Of course, this isn't the real reason Tate moved to Romania, because the last thing this man cares about is morals. See, after he retired from fighting, Andrew was pretty much broke, and since he had no education or talent and his personality was trash, the only thing he could do to make money was scam people. So, Andrew decided to start a webcam business using models to extort men by telling them fake sob stories.
My first 2 girls, and we started this little webcam business from my apartment, and it just grew and grew and grew, and it got to the point where at one point I had 75 women working for me in 4 locations. And I was doing $600,000 a month.
But it didn't take long before he snitched on himself and admitted that he moved to Romania to escape SA charges.
This is probably 40% of the reason I moved to Romania, because in Eastern Europe, none of this garbage flies. If you're gonna go to the police and say he raped me back in 1988, you're gonna say we should have done something about it then. If you go to the police and say he raped me yesterday, say, okay, if you got physical evidence, or is there CCTV proof? Where'd it happen? Okay, let's go interview him right now. And if it wasn't really rape, I'd say, we went to the club, we got drunk, she agreed to go back to my house, we started having sex, and then we carried on having sex, and then we had sex, and she didn't say anything wrong, and then she texted me afterwards, and I didn't text back, and now the police would be like, okay, she's an idiot, bye. But no, not in the West. In the West, you can tell them that exact story, you're in the West.
Now, keep in mind that this was all happening back when Tate was still unknown to the public, so there wasn't a lot of pressure on the authorities to investigate him. So after moving to Romania, Andrew and Tristan continued the webcam business, and though they later admitted the whole thing was, quote, a total scam, they claimed they made millions of dollars from it. And then, unfortunately, Andrew Tate discovered social media. Tate decided to start building his online following at the height of the Me Too movement because he knew that saying messed up things on social media would quickly get get him attention. He first came under public scrutiny in 2017 amid the Harvey Weinstein scandal, when he complained that with every essay case, they want to put zero blame on the victim. After his comments went viral, Andrew realized there were a lot of frustrated young men whose anger he could exploit for profit, so he started telling them what they wanted to hear while pretending to care about their mental health. Most of Andrew Tate's worst content has now been removed from social media, but he basically started promoting misogyny, saying things like women are the property of men, women shouldn't be allowed to drive, and men should date 18 and 19-year-old women because they make an imprint on them. But Tate didn't just spew hate against women. He also mocked other men by using the debunked alpha male theory and would often dismiss his male followers with mental health issues as weak and cowardly. But sadly, millions of impressionable young men fell for Andrew Tate's scam. And what's really scary is that teachers worldwide started to report a dramatic increase in dysfunctional and misogynistic behavior of their young male students who followed Tate on social media, and some of them were as young as 11.
So I'm a teacher and I teach 6th grade. We've been in school for 3 days now, and within these 3 days, the amount of young 11-year-old boys that have told me that they love Andrew Tate is ridiculous. This man is really affecting the minds of young men. I had a boy today, 11, turn to a girl and tell her that she's fat. Women need to be thin. She sits at home and she eats all day, and that she's like every other girl in the world, and that she uses men to get money. And at least he's a hardworking man and he works for his money. They're 11. Okay, you need to be aware of what your kids are watching, because this is ridiculous and it's really affecting kids, young kids. It's disgusting.
However, Tate's following continued to grow, and he realized that a large number of his fans were so lost that they would willingly give him money in exchange for his toxic advice. And that's when he decided to start his Hustlers University, which was marketed as a private online academy where members pay a monthly membership to access instructional videos on different business topics. But of course, this turned out to be just another pyramid scheme, and some former members later claimed the real reason Tate set up Hustlers University was to launder money he earned through other illegal activities. And this brings us to the most disturbing part of Andrew Tate's story. In April 2022, news broke that Tate's brother's house in Romania was raided by the police as part of a human trafficking investigation. The raid was a response to reports that an American woman was held at the house against her will, and in August 2022, Romanian authorities said the investigation was still ongoing. Meanwhile, several social media platforms banned Andrew Tate and deleted all of his official accounts. It started with Meta permanently removing Tate's Instagram and Facebook accounts, and then YouTube and TikTok followed suit. Tate was also previously banned from Twitter. However, in November 2022, Elon Musk reinstated Tate's account as part of his fight for free speech. Initially, Elon Musk faced backlash for unbanning Tate, but in hindsight, this is one of the best decisions Elon ever made, because he unintentionally set up Tate to be destroyed by none other than Greta Thunberg. It all started on December 27th when Tate decided to come for Greta on Twitter, completely unprovoked, and bragged about owning 33 cars. Tate tweeted, "Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and their respective enormous emissions." But then Greta clapped back and completely obliterated Tate with a tweet that read, "Yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldickenergy@getalife.com." And in just 2 days, Greta's brutal clapback became one of the 10 most liked tweets of all time. But that's not even the best part. It took Andrew Tate over 10 hours to respond to Greta's tweet. And when he finally did, he came up with this cringy video.
Release some greenhouse gases. I'm obviously a stranger to online controversy. It's not something I often do. But now, the mainstream press is commenting on the fact that I was informing Greta that my very extensive car collection with internal combustion engines, which run on dead dinosaurs, have an enormous emission profile. And she replied by telling me her own email address. Greta's email address is, I have small dick energy. Why would that be your own email address, Greta? Strange. I mean, also, I don't want to assume her gender. It's 50-50, but it is what it is. I'm not actually mad at Greta.
Please bring me pizza and make sure that these boxes are not recycled. Thank you. So I'm actually mad at Greta, right? Because she doesn't realize she's been programmed. She doesn't realize she's a slave of the Matrix. She thinks she's doing good. Someone has sat her down and convinced her to try and convince you to beg your government to tax you into poverty to stop the sun from being hot.
But besides that red robe and his pathetic rant, there was something else in the video that Andrew Tate should have thought about before coming for Greta: the pizza box. See, the pizza box shown in the video is from a Romanian chain of restaurants called Jerry's Pizza, and it was apparently this detail that allowed police to locate Tate. And then, less than 24 hours later, Andrew and Tristan were arrested in Romania. Romanian prosecutors said the Tate brothers are suspects in an organized crime ring that exploited at least 6 women. And on top of that, one of the brothers is also accused of SA. And to think, if it wasn't for Greta Thunberg, Andrew Tate wouldn't have snitched on himself. This is priceless. But Greta is still not done. After news of Tate's arrest broke, Greta came through with another epic tweet saying, "This is what happens when you don't recycle your pizza boxes." As you can imagine, the internet is having a field day clowning Andrew Tate for playing himself, and even some celebs have joined in. Cardi B sarcastically commented on the news of Tate's arrest, writing, "Well, well, well," while Star Trek legend George Takei tweeted, "So Elon Musk let Andrew Tate back on Twitter, and Tate promptly used it to reveal his whereabouts to authorities in Romania who arrested him? All because Greta Thunberg owned him so hard his little wee-wee fell off? Do I have that right? Please say that I have that right. But now it's your turn. Let us know in the comments what you think about Greta Thunberg getting Andrew Tate arrested, and we'll see you in our next video.